The Steiner wrestling family is one that is truly cloaked in royalty, especially when it comes to mic skill. If my Steiner math is correct, we all have a 782 and 2/3 chance out of a 50-point scale to go one-on-one with Samoa Joe. Scott and Rick Steiner were two of wrestling's hottest prospects in the late 80s and throughout the 90s. As a tag team through the likes of Japan and America, they established themselves as legit professional wrestlers who would do for stardom. They rampaged through WCW, New Japan, and even the WWF in the 90s. They both paved out careers that earned them some pretty nice paydays. Scott was obviously a world champion in WCW and a pretty big attraction in WWE as well as TNA. Big Papa Pump was just one of them ones for real. The dog-faced gremlin wasn't as lucky, but he still made a solid career out of the splits. We won't talk about his personal life or crazy comments because, you know, that's not cool, brother. As a wrestler though, he had his singles run for WCW, one for Pro Wrestling Noah in New Japan, and even had a short TNA run, while sporadically showing up on the independent scene for a while. Rick is more of the focus in this video here because he is the father of our subject, Bron Breakker. Bron, just like his father and uncle, is one of professional wrestling's hottest prospects, and has been that since he stepped foot in the WWE Performance Center in 2021. A true freak athlete with an endless amount of potential, support, and overall star quality. Who knows just how far Breakker will go? He's already been an NXT champion, an Intercontinental champion, and has already been thrusted into the main event spotlights on the main roster. Currently a part of one of the biggest storylines in the company right now with The Vision, Bron's been taken care of pretty well so far. While some people, aka me, believe he should already be a world champion right now, beggars can't be choosers, right? Aside from being a Steiner, Bron earned his contract through his athleticism and true upside. Athleticism, which was truly on display throughout his brief football career, one in which saw him on an NFL roster for a short amount of time. So, I think that's pretty good for an explanation and background. I don't really know. I'm a bad YouTuber and even worse at segues. So, this is awkward. Segue! Hello, welcome back to the channel. We are once again back in action, and today, it's actually my first recording home. I came home from school for Christmas break, and this is the first actual time I've gotten to sit down and record a video again in my own humble abode. And it feels just right because I've got a Family Guy episode on the TV, a Dr. Pepper can in my hand, and just a whole bunch of bullshit to spew to you in a YouTube video about professional wrestling. Everything's back here, man. We're completely back. Yeah, appreciate the support again. Appreciate you for clicking on this video. I don't really know, man, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get into this video. Today we're gonna be talking about Bron Breakker's football career, Bronson Rechsteiner. Anywho, I'm just gonna go ahead and rip the rubber off, and we finna get right into the video, and we finna just talk about his playing career. Like that's what we're here for. So yeah, the big baby Rechsteiner was quite the standout athlete back in his day. In high school, he was both a standout amateur wrestler and, obviously, the topic of the video, a football player. He did all of these at Etowah High School in Woodstock, Georgia. I hope I'm saying that right, but to be honest, I don't really care. Bron was an absolute menace back in his day, and they talked about him back then like they talk about him now. A scary sight to be opposing, bro. Could you imagine, after just a hard day of geometry, chemistry, English, and a computer lab, and you have your high school football game that night, and coach tells you, you gotta go out and try to bring down Bron Breakker? Like, you gotta go out there and you gotta tackle that guy? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Wrap it up. Best course of action here is to tell coach clock it and go out there and do your duty now, champ. You finna die. Even back in high school, old bro was built like a brick shithouse. Strong as hell too because he's a Steiner. Bro, I seen bro's huddle and it terrifies me just at the sight of it. Y'all think he passed basic math classes? Anyways, he was an unranked recruit in the class of 2016, and despite his ranking, Bron held scholarship offers from Army, Illinois State, Eastern Michigan, Akron, and where he'd eventually enroll, Kennesaw State. Despite 3 FBS offers, he decided to stay local for the Owls, who, funnily enough, are now a Division I school a few years after his graduation. Division I FBS, that is. Kennesaw State was just about 15 minutes away from Bron's hometown in Woodstock, so it made sense why he chose here. At Kennesaw State, Steiner didn't really see the field his freshman or sophomore season. He was a depth back for the Owls, but damn bro, could you imagine him in that locker room? Bro start barking and shit. The dogs are out in the Kennesaw State locker room. God, Pat McAfee. However, his junior and senior season would be where he'd eventually turn into the leader of the backfield. More so his senior season. His junior season, he'd carry the ball for 33 times for 142 yards without a score or a catch. While it wasn't anything to write home about, it was a definite improvement seeing as he didn't see the field or carry the ball the first 2 years. He would play both fullback and running back for Kennesaw, and in his senior year, he'd truly take over. As a senior, Steiner would rush for 909 yards on the back of 101 carries while tagging along 7 tugs. If you're a mathematician, you'll know that's 8.1 yards per carry, which is actually pretty freaking insane. He'd also tag over 100 receiving yards off of 8 catches, which left him with over a band in total scrimmage yards. This took place during a very successful season for the Owls as they finished with an 11-3 record while going 6-1 in conference play. Tagging onto that, they also had a 16th ranking in the FCS rankings and even adding a first-round FCS playoff win. Their only losses in the regular season came from a 3-point loss to the Division I Kent State Golden Flashes and the Monmouth Hawks in a rough 45-21 game, but we don't have to talk about that one. It's okay, that never happened. Steiner's best game in his entire football career was against Missouri State, where he logged 221 yards off the back of 10 carries. 22.1 yards per carry, bro. 22.1. What the hell? He added a score and the Owls won 35-24, so he really made a difference. It was a decently close game. Bron would have 2 other games with over 100 yards in Charleston Southern and Gardner Webb. While this season was definitely carried by some standout games, it wasn't enough to land him an invite to the NFL Combine. However, he did well at Kennesaw State's Pro Day. His 40 time was 4.5, by the way. Following going undrafted in the 2020 NFL Draft, Bron was picked up by the land of Lamar, Baltimore. He stood out enough in his Pro Day to earn a UDFA contract. He became a freaking Raven, dude. For those of you who know ball like that, you'll know the Ravens had Pat Ricard holding down the fullback position around this time. Bron battled for a roster spot throughout the summer, but due to the fact he was a fullback anytime past 1924, and the Ravens already had an established one, he'd eventually be cut in August. Or, excuse me, waived. Bro, just say fired at this point. Like, it's too many damn terms, bro. He never really stood a chance for real, unfortunately, because again, he was a fullback. And yeah, he didn't make the team, but what he did make the cut for was Madden NFL 21. He was in Madden 21, gang. Boy, oh boy. Core memory unlocked, bro. I don't know if y'all like know who I'm talking about here or what this was, but there was a Madden YouTuber I used to watch called C4 who had a bunch of franchise series. I'm pretty sure he's still like active today. I don't know. I just haven't watched anything by him in fucking years. One of these franchises, just one of these videos, I remember he had Bron in, and I used to think he was so cool. And looking back on it, it was cool. I won't let anyone tell me differently. Like, it just was cool. Every single like offline franchise I would just always bring Bronson Rechsteiner to play fullback for me, and I'd low-key use him for real. Could you imagine Bron Breaker in the backfield with Lamar and a healthy J.K. Dobbins or Mark Ingram back in the day? I don't know why I'm saying back in the day like it wasn't 4 years ago, but like whatever. Could you imagine that big ass dude blocking for Lamar in the open field? I wish I saw it, really. Like I wish I saw it. And following being cut by the Ravens, his NFL career obviously didn't last long because we know where he is now, and we all know where he'd go from there. He signed a WWE developmental contract in 2021, and the rest has just been history. His football career, though, is pretty cool to look back on. And to be honest, bro, I'm finna just talk out of my ass right quick because, bro, I know I said this earlier, but could you actually imagine being a regular high school kid who's just kind of athletic with no actual future in football, having to line up at linebacker and clog the A gap by meeting Bron fucking Breaker? A 3.8 high school GPA and a college application to Western Carolina University and a long shot application at Clemson, Penn State, and Central Florida with fraternity dreams rather than NFL ones, and you're asked to go out and tackle Bronson Rechsteiner? The name alone sends shivers down my spine, bro. Public school kids against a legit genetic freak who's not normal. God bless their hearts, bro. You've got about like a probably you don't even have a chance to tackle him. Granted, he wasn't the Bron he is now, but bro, still, like, could you imagine this shit? And also, could you imagine being his math teacher, bro? Like, how do you explain that Steiner math is only valid in the wrestling sphere opposed to real life? What do you do if he, like, just gets mad about you saying that he can't use Steiner math on a random math test? Like, what happens if he just decides to flip over the desk because you're not allowing him to talk about how he's a genetic freak and he's not normal? Does he use Steiner math in real life? And that's another question for, like, Scott Steiner too, and rechsteiner. Like, is Steiner math like a real variable of measurement in the real world? Bro, there's so many questions we've got to have answers to. Like, the world needs to know. Like, we're so worried about questions that don't matter. All I know that if you were a high school kid, you've got a negative 3/4 chance of tackling him though. But like, don't even try, bro. You've got a loving family at home. It isn't worth it in this economy, bro. Do you see what you're lining up against? Like, even FCS players got to be feeling a certain type of way matching up with someone like that. The last name rechsteiner is just crazy, bro. Twin like fullback Frankenstein, bro. Tee up, bro. Push up, man. I'm done with this shit. Obviously, Bron Breakker has been able to create his own way outside of football and has become a legit star in the professional wrestling sphere. His interesting ring style, which is off the back of explosiveness and awesome athleticism and power, has led him to being one of the most fun wrestlers to watch today. He's personally one of my favorites to watch, and I really think he's legit. I don't think it's possible for the bald guy with a big nose to fumble this. Knock on wood, right? I don't know if it picked up on me knocking on my wood desk, but I did, I swear. Like, crazier things have happened, but Bron's just like a different breed, and I really think anything can work with him. He's got the Steiner swagger and is just really freaking good. I'm really interested to see where he ends up off the back of this Vision storyline. Hopefully, it's a world title, but that's me thinking that Triple H still knows how to book in the Big 25, and spoiler alert, let me just like ruin everybody's dreams and shit on your birthday cake. He doesn't, so it won't happen, but whatever, bro. As long as I can see him hoop, that's all that matters to me. I love the prospect of Bron Breakker, and his football career is one that's cool to look back on, but unfortunately it really just never went anywhere besides, you know, the Ravens practice squad, pretty much. But what I will say is it's translated perfectly to professional wrestling. His ring speed is unmatched, and he runs the ropes like my niece runs to chocolate and K-pop Demon Hunters toys. Regardless that his career didn't work out in that sphere, Bronson Rechsteiner is still the greatest fullback of all time, and if you disagree, you're simply incorrect. By the way, bring back the fullback. Tom Adamo would be shamed of the landscape of football right now, just like how everyone's ashamed of the landscape of wrestling right now. 2025, guys. 2025. And just like 2025, I'm about to bounce my ass up out this video. That didn't go as well as I thought it would, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and segue out this bitch. I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, and if I earned it, I'd appreciate it if you left a like on the video, as well as subscribe to the channel. I'm talking really fast. I feel like I'm like an auctioneer guy. Auctioneer, is that a word? I don't know. 500 for you, 550, 600, 650, 67. Is that demonic, by the way? I saw something on fucking Instagram that said it was demonic, and one of my boys was telling me it was. Is it, bro? I don't really know. I don't think me saying 6'7" and doing a little hand motion is that crazy, but crazier things are crazier, you know? But anywho, you should join the Discord server. You should subscribe. You should follow me on the new Instagram. You should watch out for some streams. Probably not this week though, because my home Wi-Fi sucks. But yeah, I really don't have anything else to say. Just glad that you guys are enjoying the videos for what it is. Thanksgiving. Woo, what are you guys thankful for this year? I'm thankful for each and every one of you. This might be the Thanksgiving special, to be fair. I don't really know if I'm gonna be able to get another video out by Thursday, but if I don't, you guys are what I'm thankful for. 3.6K in 1 year is crazy. To some people it may not be crazy, but to me this is like my whole world right now. 3.6 thousand of you, that's crazy to me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I think I'm so thankful for everybody that's been so consistently like in the comments or supporting me. I appreciate all of you. You guys know who you are. You comment every video, like, you know who you are. I appreciate you guys. Have so much love from the bottom of my heart for all of you. You've helped make this year so amazing for me. I just sit here and I thank you guys so much, and I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of it, but I'm gonna keep doing it because that's just who I am. Yeah, gonna segue out of this video now, like, actually. Appreciate you guys again for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Talking really fast again. Y'all stay safe. God bless.